we're on time, kind of.
Yes, 1 minute past the hour. Welcome to the Leo Zagami Show, broadcasting today on Facebook and on our main YouTube channel, though our official channel for the Leo Zagami Show has been blocked. Yeah, because they don't like us talking about the persecution of Christians. But what can you do? I hope that you will all enjoy this show, the people who see it live, the people who see it, of course, relayed in the next few days around the internet by various sources, including our own. This is, of course, a show with Christy Zagami and Leo Zagami. Welcome, everybody.
Some people said they didn't like our intro, our little dancey dance.
What?
I don't know.
Well, I think it's a very interesting and unusual intro for the most unusual.
Vote because.
Yeah, we put it to vote. So who likes the intro?
We don't like the intro. We can just throw it out. This is the intro.
La Danse Macabre. We have a lot of news, but first of all, we want to thank our sponsors. We're going to thank them along during the show, of course, but we want to thank them just at the beginning, because without them we will not be able to bring you this extra show on a Thursday, October the 6th of the year of the Lord 2022. Okay, so thanks to our sponsors: Bruce Codish, Giuseppina Pinachero, Danny Resser Jr., Karen Wells,
Karen Wells.
Cherchez la femme. David Morgan.
Thank you, David, for your very, very kind donation.
Donna Casar also. Donna Casar. You are all.
Donna, thank you so much.
Yes, you have all been very, very kind with us.
Nice, and Bruce also. Thank you, Bruce.
And of course,
we're very, very appreciative.
Pina.
Oh, and Pina is so great. She's raising an autistic son, and she works at 2 or 3 jobs, and she still donates. You know, I say, Pina, you don't have to donate, and she still donates. So thank you very much, Pina. We appreciate it, and we want to give you a good show.
A lot of news today. Of course, we have a couple of articles from our very own leozagami.com, and the first article that is really, I think, the article that worries us, disturbs us more, meaning, are we ready for what's coming next? Because the Biden regime, the Biden administration, has basically invested $290 million in anti-radiation drugs through the United States Department of Health and Human Services. This is a really big and sudden move that makes us understand where we are heading, because there is no talk of peace, but suddenly there is talk about getting ready for a nuclear blast. I mean, this is not really what we were hoping for. Check out the article at leozagami.com. Biden regime ordered $290 million in anti-radiation drugs. And this is, of course, one of the main topics of today that we will be also discussing with our viewers during our phone call live that will be happening in a little more than 50 minutes from now. The news that basically, like I said, comes from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services is pretty shocking, ladies and gentlemen, pretty shocking. We're talking about the purchase of drug for use in radiological and nuclear emergency. And this is an official website of the U.S. government, of course. When they have asked to the people who are responsible for for this sudden announcement. What is happening? Is it connected to Ukraine? Of course, the Biden administration said no, but they had to admit, the HHS had to admit that it is connected to what is happening in Ukraine, of course, and all the threats, continuous threats that Vladimir Putin and his own administration and military leaders have made in the last few days. What do you think, Christy? What do you think?
Did he who did he buy it for? The Americans or the elite?
Yes, for the Americans, 290 million.
But I thought we weren't going to get bombed.
You fought. We were not. I mean, we don't know. It's better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry. It is kind of a scary thought, though, that they are planning for something like this. Regarding, though, the anti-radiation drug that is being proposed, because, I mean, I always invite my listeners to get ready for this kind of scenarios, and I have been actually doing it for a long time. And I told people in this book, Christy, all the books are there. What are they doing there? Sorry. No, I need also the other book. Sorry.
What,
Yes. Maybe you should put them in the other side of the room. So
you have these long arms, and so you just reach over and you get them.
Okay. So in this book here, I actually advise people to purchase, and this book was published in early February, already outlined the invasion of Ukraine, the future invasion of Taiwan, and the World War III scenario. And I, of course, encourage people to purchase potassium iodide. Instead, the Biden administration is inviting people, and through, of course, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, to purchase something which is called the N-plate. Which is basically a drug approved to treat blood cell injuries that accompany acute radiation syndrome in adult and pediatric patients, but is also a drug that has been used for other things, like to treat low blood platelets counts, which I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be one.
Low blood platelets
counts, and in other with immune thrombocytopenia, TAP, I don't know. Well, you can, like I said, check my article on leozagami.com. So we invite all our viewers to get ready anyway, even if it's a strategy of tension that they are playing with, even if, of course, they try to scare us. Let's not forget that we might be safe here in the United States, but in Europe, definitely they are risking nuclear radiations, not only from a possible nuclear attack of sorts. I mean, we have been discussing also on my website in the last week the various options that Putin is because we have had videos and photos of this train moving towards the border. We heard about Poseidon from the Italian newspaper La Repubblica, which is the submarine, which seems to be maybe another option. The Russian submarine K329 Belgorod, which is carrying Poseidon, is believed to be headed to the Arctic, and this means testing in the Kara Sea of some kind of nuclear doomsday Poseidon testing. It's a torpedo drone. I don't know what that is, but in any case, guys, it doesn't look very good. It doesn't look acute. Bruce is explaining acute lowering of blood clotting elements known as. It's interesting, though, no, that there's always these black clots. I'm not going to talk about it. I want to talk about it, but we all know what has happened after people took the
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say it.
Don't say it because we all got banned. They're going to accuse us of I don't know what.
No, we don't say it.
But it's interesting. Maybe they are giving out these things to somehow
I don't take anything that they give out.
No, maybe they want to, in a way, work out do some damage control. Do some damage control on what they already did with the B.
Really?
Maybe.
You think so?
Well,
like it messed people up and now they're trying to fix it?
I don't know, but in any case...
I'd rather have that than the other thing.
But in any case, we are broadcasting live from Palm Springs, California, 11 minutes past the hour. A lot of people are tuning in, but not as many as we usually...
Oh my God, we only have 25 people.
I know. But we have the creme de la creme, the VIPs of the Zagami elite.
They come after, though. We have so many views after. So. The thing is, and it's very, very much the reason why people aren't here right now, you don't see the channel on the channel. You don't. I'm subscribed to all your channels, and I don't even, when I go on the channel, I don't see the video. It's not there. So the only way I can see the video is if I go over to your Facebook and take it from there, then I can see it. But otherwise, I can't. I don't know if other people have that problem, but it might be why we don't have any viewers, because I know that there's people that want to see this video today. So
yes, because
we have so many donations, so I know.
Well, we would like to definitely be able to reach the majority of the people who have helped also putting together this show. And the message that, of course, we want to give today is a message of hope, but also a message of awareness, and to be prepared for what is coming. This great reset needs us ready, and some of the readiness comes from reading good books like this one, for example, Volume 7 of My Confessions. And of course, we have a lot of other news today, including another important article I published today. This is an exclusive of our website for the English language. Nobody really has talked about it, but it is really shocking that Freemasons openly, the Grand Orient of Italy, which is the only Italian Masonic obedience recognized by all the American Masonic obediences, has inaugurated a new Masonic temple in the city of Terni, where the maker of the cover of our book comes from, because he's in Terni, Vincenzo. So it kind of goes along with that. And just let me show this article to our viewers. If you want to go and check it out, you can do it on leozagami.com. And this article shows, you see, this is the bishop, and this is the Grand Master, and they are basically inaugurating a Masonic temple. Later on, they are inside the Masonic temple. Watch them. So there is no shame, and all this has been done with papal approval. And this bishop called Francesco Antonio Soddu has not been afraid of the criticism that came with such a move. And it is really a sensational move, but goes along with what I have been really writing about, if you think about it, in Volume 7 of My Confessions, because there is a lot about this one world religion in Volume 7 of My Confessions. So please check it out. And now let's go to the rest of the news, because we have really a lot of news. Then at 6 we will let our audience intervene. Now we have of course instigated a musical track, a house track in this case, so addressed to the audience that likes to dance. So Jackie, where are you, Jackie? Are you here? Where's Jackie? Remember when Joe Biden said, where is Jackie? Well, we transformed the whole thing thanks to Speedy Champ, who is a friend of ours, in a track. Yeah, guys.
Let's everybody dance.
Let's dance.
Let's everybody get up and dance.
Let's do that.
Ooh, spooky for Halloween.
Biden, when he gets close to mine. You got that?
Okay, look, watch this, right?
Oh, wow. It's an
Illuminati eye on my chest.
wow. So let's go to Spooky Biden, who was with DeSantis yesterday in Florida. You can check also the entire track on the Leo Zagami show official channel. But in the meantime, I would like to show what happened yesterday with spooky, creepy maniac Biden behind DeSantis once again, next to his wife, trying to actually pick up a lady. Fortunately, it wasn't a minor this time. You see, on the left you have the wife, on the center you have there you have Joe Biden, corpse Biden, and then you have this lady here,
Okay.
and then you have DeSantis talking. Let's see what happens.
Well, good afternoon, and I want to thank President Biden and Jill Biden, as well as Administrator Deanne.
The maniac is getting closer. He's getting introduced to the lady.
Oh.
As well for coming down here, looking at really
She's amused. Probably she's a libtard. He touches her.
really significant damage
Ew.
here in Lee County, and there's other
Ooh.
places where you have
gross?
really significant damage as well outside of this general area. We were very fortunate to have good.
He looks like he smells like beans.
Quite expensive. Now, you saw the face that DeSantis made yesterday, but I mean, I didn't really want to play that because we all saw it in every single possible channel. DeSantis just like watching when Biden was talking. It's like, what the heck is he talking about?
I know,
DeSantis,
like so
but DeSantis made it clear today in a speech that he wasn't really on board with anything Biden said. So I think I have a video. Let me see if I can find it. In the meantime, I want to show you Biden, who basically is being engaged by the media regarding OPEC that has slashed the oil production and increased this way the cost of the gasoline at the pump today. Fortunately, in Palm Springs, I found a gallon of $5.99. Fortunately, $5.99.
I told you to fill up.
Yeah, in fact, I filled up. I mean, in other parts of California, it's already at $7.40, $7.50. I mean, these people are crazy. What did Biden say about it? This is basically nothing.
No, the trip was not essentially for oil. The trip was about the Middle East and about Israel.
He's being criticized for the trip he made to Saudi Arabia, to the Emirates, a couple of months ago. This, of course, a meeting was supposed to be a possibility for Biden talking with the Saudis about bringing down the price and increasing the production so he could bring down the price here at home of the gasoline. But now OPEC apparently is listening more to other. I mean, some people, of course, claim that maybe all this is done in course between Vladimir Putin and the Saudi prince. Everything is possible, but Biden, or Joe Biden, as it's known here in the United States, he just says.
They call him Joe Bidet in Italy.
Yeah, in Italy they call him Joe Bidet, but you don't have bidets here in America, so maybe they will not understand the joke.
And rationalization of positions. But it is a disappointment, and it says that there are problems.
Are you worried about it?
Joe Biden does moonwalking. He walks backwards. He escapes. He doesn't want to take any questions. Let's see what DeSantis said today about Joe Biden, because this is pretty funny, guys. Prepare to have a laugh regarding the comments that, of course, DeSantis made. I have here a video, and it's ready.
I'm also glad that effective Saturday, we instituted our gas tax holiday in the state of Florida.
Now, listen to the price of gasoline in the state of Florida. Dear Californians who still vote for this idiot governor, Newsom, you didn't recall him, and you just don't want to change things here in California because you are lazy asses who just want government handouts.
And so we now basically, you don't pay the state portion, so 25 cents off every gallon. And if you look at our prices, if you look at the prices in Florida, since that's gone into effect and been internalized in the market, we have the 5th lowest gas prices in the country right now. So, and I actually saw it in different places I was driving. I don't know where, so I don't want to like send a crowd, but I mean, I actually saw it at $2.99. I have not seen gas under $3 in a long time. Certainly, I don't think since January 20th of a year and a half ago. So that's just the nature of it. So we're glad that that was in effect. We think that that will help people save money over the course of this holiday. And of course, we're going to do a lot more. We have a lot of other tax relief that's been in effect as well. We no tax on diapers and baby items for the young families, which is really, really good. I've also have a proposal for next year. We want to make all of the baby items, including cribs and strollers, have no sales tax permanently. That's what we're looking to do. We're also going to do, we think, for a year, no sales tax on any household item under $25. So you think about the things you buy, that'll really add up over the course of a year. We're also doing, and not every place has the same amount of toll roads throughout the state, but for commuters it can hit them. So we're going to slash the tolls by 50%, and that'll save people potentially hundreds of dollars. Some in like South Florida, probably $1,000, $1,500 a year with how much those tolls are. So just all thinking about ways that we can help lessen the burden when you're in a period of really sustained and runaway inflation. You want to be able to help people with those burdens. And so
this is like a governor is trying to help his people, while here instead in California, involved in the great revolution of climate change and all this bullshit, we are basically bankrupting the state. And I just don't understand why these Californians don't wake up. It's just like beyond me. I mean, these idiots, these libtards, it's just something else, man. But I mean, I'm sure that sooner or later they will get it. Maybe, I hope not with a civil war. In the meantime, we have a lot of other news, of course, and we welcome you for the Leo Zagami show. I want to thank all those people, of course, who have helped this show, sponsoring it, and we have an applause for them, Christy. Yes, this is yes, an applause. So let me read the names of the people who have helped today's show, the sponsors of today's show. Okay. Bruce Kodesh, Giuseppina Pinachero, Danny Resser Jr., Karen Wells, David Morgan, Donna Casar. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks to you, we are able to bring you an extra show today, and we will, of course, be back also on Saturday at 10 a.m. PST for our weekly rundown of the news. This was an incredible week because we had some crazy stuff. I mean, a UN representative who basically went on record saying we own science on climate change during a World Economic Forum meeting, just to show you the insanity of these people. And that's why here in California, in some places now they're paying $7.50 per gallon because they love this insanity. They are just wacko. That's it.
You know, we partner.
They own the science. They own the science.
How can you own science?
I don't know. I mean, there must be something you purchase.
With Google, for example, if you Google climate change, you
And also they control Google. They admit they control also Google.
will, at the top of your search, you will get all kinds of UN resources. We started this partnership when we were shocked to see that when we Googled climate change, we were getting incredibly distorted information right at the top. So we're becoming much more proactive. You know, we own the science, and we think that the world, you know, should know it. And
we own the science, and the world should know it. That's why, guys, they are wasting all our private reserves. Those, you know, the national reserves have been just consumed by Joe Biden, and so we are left with no reserves. We are not engaging, of course, in energy independence like at the time of Donald J. Trump, when during his presidency we had reached complete energy independence. We didn't need to buy gasoline, oil, or gas from anybody, because it was all produced here in the United States of America. But because people like Joe Biden and his government and all these lackeys are all part of this sustainable development impact, whatever.
And the platforms themselves also do. But again, it's a huge challenge that I think all sectors of society need to be very active in.
Yeah, sure. Active in censoring people, in persecuting people, in harassing people that, of course, have a different idea of science, that science that you own, because these people own science. You know, it's quite incredible how they own science. They are science, the rest is rubbish. Well, it's incredible that these libtards are actually today in charge, but for how long? Will the midterm elections change things around? Will the next presidential elections change things around? Or are we getting closer to a point of no return? Because then, you know, when it comes to stolen elections, there is different views, and Fox News reported has engaged the woman with the crazy hair, the black lady, the spokesperson for Joe Biden, about voting
Jean-Pierre.
Karine Jean-Pierre.
Okay. Oh, Peter, go ahead.
Thanks, Green. A follow-up about the MAGA Republican attention. So if we're all in agreement that it is incorrect to say the 2020 election was stolen, what about the 2016 election?
Look, I'm not going to go back to where we were or what happened in 2016. We're going to focus on the here and now. We're going to focus on what's happening today, this inflection point that the president pointed out very clearly, very decisively in a few speeches about what the country needs to do at this time to bring the country together. And he believes that's where majority of Americans are when it comes to protecting our democracy, when it comes to protecting our rights, and when it comes to protecting our freedoms. That's what we're
basically destroying our democracy, not protecting your freedoms, and doing everything the opposite of what she's saying. Mm-hmm. Using possibly the FBI to indulge in activities that have not been seen since the time of the Stasi secret police in Eastern Germany.
Yep. We're going to talk about, that's what we're going to focus on where we are at today.
But just in trying to understand the new attention on the MAGA Republicans, you tweeted in 2016, Trump stole an election.
I was waiting, Peter, when you were going to ask me that question.
Well, great. Here we go. You tweeted Trump stole an election. You tweeted Brian Kemp stole an election. If denying election results is extreme now, why wasn't it then?
let's be really clear. That comparison that you made is just ridiculous. I have been. Well, you're asking me a question. Yes. Let me answer it.
And you said it was ridiculous.
Do you have in America, Christy, Mocho Vileda?
What?
Mocho Vileda. It's like, it used to be like kind of thing like the barn, you know, like you put on the floor and then you clean the floors. And it looked like her hair.
A mop. It's called a mop, Amore.
Yeah, but
it's an MOP mop.
So basically her hair looks like a mop. Yeah, that's it.
I was talking specifically at that time of what was happening with voting rights and what was in danger of voting rights. That's what I was speaking to at the time. And here's the thing. I have said Governor Kemp won the election in Georgia. I've been clear about that. I have said President Trump won the election of 2016, and I've been clear about that. What we are talking about right now is, let's not forget what happened on January 6, 2021, when we saw an insurrection, a mob that was incited by the person who occupied this campus, this facility at that time. And it was an attack on our democracy. Let's not forget, people died that day. Law enforcement were attacked.
Yes, and they were killed by your own law enforcement.
Yeah.
That day. That was the danger that we were seeing at the time. That's what the president has called out, and that's what he's going to continue to call out. So yes, when you have MAGA Republicans, a extreme part of Republicans who just deny or do not want to really say what exactly happened on that day, or say it was a protest when it clearly was not a peaceful protest. That's not what we saw on that day. Yes, the president's going to call that out. And here's the thing, majority of Americans agree with him. Majority of Americans agree with this president on protecting our democracy, protecting our freedom, and protecting our rights.
That's bullshit. It's so fucking.
She's a liar.
Okay, check out this book on who was behind the insurrection and how it was orchestrated to cleverly manipulate people that should have known better. And I warned them. So, some people might call me a hothead, but I'm not a hothead, my dear friends. I'm a calculator, and I'm somebody who has warned people like Alex Jones not to go to Washington on the 6th of January, and it's on record, and it was on enforce at the end of December. So, my dear friends, Leo Zagami might at times be a little bit...
Forte. You need a forte man. You don't need man without balls. You need man with balls. He has balls.
Yes, we need man with balls here. I don't know, but balls are missing, and sometimes these balls are being blocked at puberty. Now, this is the next topic that we will be touching today. We will be talking about genderism. Yes. Let's go into the genderism. Yeah. Okay. So. Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood used to be in charge mainly of abortions, and already that was a human sacrifice. Now they are promoting with cartoons puberty blockers, which are hormones that are given to children so they don't fully develop.
Why?
So they can stop the development.
But why?
Because they think that these children need some time to design their sexuality. So in the meantime, if they're women, they stop their period. If they're men, they stop their hair and their balls from...
That's so bad.
So let me show you the cartoon that... the Planned Parenthood.
They're not serious about this.
No, they're very serious. Very serious. Puberty blocker. Huh? Here we are.
There's no one-size-fits-all puberty experience. If you're trans, intersex, or non-binary, know that you're not the only one feeling confused. For some intersex people, puberty may start later than age 14. You might experience some of puberty's changes and not others. And your body...
Huh? Sorry, Christine. I mean, let's make
I'm
it very
so
clear.
against this.
I mean, we have nothing against gay people.
It doesn't have to do with being gay.
This is another level, guys.
This has nothing to do with being gay.
This is another level.
Body may or may not go through puberty on its own. There are medicines you can take to help your body start the process, like hormone replacement therapy. Some people decide on hormones or surgeries to help their bodies match up to their gender identity.
This is addressed to children that don't really know. I mean, you should just leave your sexuality in the air until you are old enough to decide whatever you want to be. And then, if you want to chop off your willy, chop it off. I don't care.
But don't do it to the kids that don't know that.
but doing it to the children, it's insane, guys. It's insane. And the fact that we are risking here,
Guys watching,
you know, we are risking censorship because we are active in protecting what a man, you know, like Bruce wrote, a man has balls, the woman has ovaries, and this is what. But nowadays, you know, if you are a Democrat, you even believe that a man can give birth. So, I mean, you are completely out of it. Let's continue to see this cartoon made by Planned Parenthood.
Or how they feel inside about themselves. Your gender identity is real. You should be the one to decide what changes you want to make to your body. If you're transgender or non-binary, you may find that your puberty experiences don't line up with your gender identity or how you see yourself. That feeling can be uncomfortable, scary, and stressful. If that sounds like you, know that you're not alone. There are medicines you can take to delay puberty for a while. They're called puberty blockers, and they work like a stop sign by halting the hormones testosterone and estrogen that cause puberty changes like facial hair growth and period.
Now, let's discuss a little bit this, and we will discuss it later on also with our viewers. But I mean, this means like stopping the development of a child, and it really ruins them. There is people who have actually come out recently saying, you know, I wish I never did that. I wish somebody would have stopped me when I was a child. Instead, they encourage them. And it's happening in Hollywood, where, I mean, the Backstreet Boys guy is calling his daughter Elliot. I don't know if the daughter is, I don't know, or Elliot wants to be called, I don't know, it's all screwed out. They're all out of it. And if you go to Hollywood, these actors, you know, like Charlize Theron with the kid dressed up as a woman.
And even Angelina Jolie has...
Depraved individuals. Remember this. We might be censored. We might only have 34 people watching us. We might only be a silent minority. But guys, we are growing. And I'm going to tell you soon, there is big news from Leo Zagami coming up. But let's finish watching this cartoon.
Puberty blockers are safe and can give you more time to figure out what feels right for you, your body, and your gender identity. You don't have to have all of the answers right now. So remember, it's all a work in progress, and it may take time to figure out what feels right to you, but talking to a trusted adult and a nurse or doctor may help. Want to learn more? Go to PlannedParenthood.org/teens.
And all this, of course, done without the parents' consent. So, and California and Newsom has made this possible without the parent consent. But yesterday, I went to the supermarket, and I was just in front of the Italian wine section, and a gentleman who is the manager of this important supermarket, I want to say the name because, of course, I don't want to put him in trouble. I don't want to also make publicity. But he came to me, and he literally said, I think, I'm not sure, but if I recognize you, but you are one of the world's most famous researchers. I was pretty shocked that somebody had recognized me, and he started to talk, you know, with me, engage me. And I said, well, thank you. I mean, you know, I caught a little by surprise. In a libtard town like Palm Springs, the manager of one of the main supermarkets coming up to me and saying that. On my way out, the guy, you know, they always have this managerial position up, you know, at the exit of the supermarket. The guy said to me, it was an honor to have you here. And let me, I said, it's quite weird that, you know, you follow this kind of topic. He said, no, we are growing. There is many more people that you can imagine, but we're not, you know. So I said that you are a silent, you know, a silent minority that is growing. And he said, yes. And
that's so exciting.
I mean, it was incredible for me in Palm Springs to have the manager of one of the main supermarkets who comes to me and compliments me for my work and encourages me and says something like this. What do you think, Christian?
Well,
Do you think there is a lot of closet, people who don't want to explain, they want to, of course, explain themselves to the outside world for their ideas, and maybe they hide a little bit, no?
I was completely shocked when I heard your story. I wasn't with you. I wish I was with you. Next time I wanted to go in there and say, can I just walk through you with you so I can just witness this? Because since we've been to America, honestly, I thought.
No, but the only time I was recognized actually in Palm Springs, it was a bad thing, because when they recognized me, they kind of like, you remember that time?
Yeah, I remember.
They treated me like shit. But this time instead, it was the complete opposite. So maybe things are changing slowly.
I don't get. I was so shocked because I don't. When I go around and I see these, I'm so mad today. Sorry, guys, but when I see these people around here, they don't seem like they have their head up their ass.
I mean, this guy was maybe somebody around in his 30s. He seemed very I mean, he's knowledgeable.
Because most people seem like they're completely just.
And the fact that there is more people that we expect. I mean, he actually said it. We are more than what you think. I mean, that really that was encouraging, especially in a state like California. Unfortunately, it suffers the libtard virus, which I have discussed in a chapter in my book. Because people say, why do you come and live in California? Because I want to study the virus. And the virus is communism. And it's a very dangerous one, but I have the antidote.
It would be really nice, though, to be around people that thought the way. I mean, if I was actually, first I lived in Italy and now I'm in California, I have not been around like-minded people at all. Yeah. And I'm just tired.
At times we are tempted to go to.
We're tempted to leave the state
because it is incredible the level of these people. They are completely demented. I mean,
but we can't give up. We got to at least try.
Yeah, we have to continue trying at least for a while. For the next couple of years, until I eventually will become American. Hopefully, everybody seems to be coming in this country legally. I'm doing it legally, and it's taking years and years and years.
And money and money and money.
And a lot of money.
And then these people just go like that. And
they just come through
and snap their fingers and they get healthcare and a job and a phone and a place to live and freebies. But then they're probably going to get raped if they're children. So it's not great for them either.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody is being victimized. So
it is insane what we are seeing these days. The other day, while Canada, another libtard nightmare, just like California, it's even worse because there is a legitimate son of Fidel Castro, Justin Trudeau, while they had the Hurricane Ian hitting, the first hurricane that really hit Canada in a very bad way. And in those hours where the country was in a state of panic for what was happening on the coast, look at what is chief idiot Justin Trudeau was doing. Bungee jumping.
Check. Looking at the highway. You got this. You're in a good position in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sweet.
And the sad thing is nobody cut the cord. And the sad thing is that nobody got the cord. This guy, as you know, went to the funeral of the Queen. And we have another interesting video that was filmed in London during the funeral of the Queen. Well, it was the funeral of the Queen. He went to the funeral, but after the funeral of the Queen, he, of course, had a party in which he was singing the Queen, the group. And he was doing it... well, this is Canada. I mean, Canada, you see, there is some hope for the United States. There is no hope for Canada. I'm sorry. Canada has never done 1776. Canada is basically a nation of robots, of zombies, and this is their leader, Justin Trudeau.
They're not all like that.
Well, almost all.
But they're not all.
So what do you think of Justin Trudeau as a singer, Christy?
He sucks major.
He sucks big time. Okay, so we had this Trudeau moments, bungee
I should
jumping
show your
when
thing
Canada
when you
is
were doing. Remember your
when I was singing
karaoke?
Wild Boys of Duran
Yeah,
Duran.
I have that on my
I was
Facebook.
much better than
You're
Justin.
like, "Well, boys," and you're all sweaty. You have a very good baritone.
Yes. Well, I mean, I studied a little
I tried
bit
to learn how to sing
because
but-
I was part at one point of the Air Force choir. I know, guys, but why did I become? No, I became part of the Air Force choir because it will give me
You
some.
never told me that.
Yeah, no, I didn't tell you that.
No.
Well, I went to lessons. It was a way to get some free days. And
Oh,
stuff,
okay.
you
So you're
know.
like, let me join the choir.
Let me join the choir, whatever, you know. I mean.
Nobody ever wanted to hear me sing.
But why doesn't he sing?
Our economy has created 10 million jobs, 668 manufacturing jobs.
Because this guy sings. Yeah, he's singing rubbish. His mouth, he opens his mouth and 668 manufacturing jobs. He doesn't know how to read from the teleprompter. He gets it always wrong. He should, I don't know, but he will never be able to sing at the karaoke because he's not able to read the teleprompter. You can't sing at the karaoke. You need to read, no? At the karaoke, you have the things coming up like the teleprompter.
Now I want to find your karaoke.
Our economy has created 10 million jobs, 668 manufacturing jobs. Proof.
He should have said 666.
Made in America is no longer.
This was actually Joe Biden a few hours ago, so this is fresh. It's the latest rubbish by Joe Biden. Kind of a fresh.
Fresh rubbish?
Fresh rubbish. Okay, so if you want to support us, you can do it also by purchasing Christie's books, volume 1 and 2 of her own confessions, which is a female view, an unusual one, a different one, on a different take on our adventures, you know, and what happened in Italy.
I just talk about what we went through.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny because there's some funny, and there's some pictures in here too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good.
lots of pictures. And
so after you read all my books, which are a little more serious and sometimes a little bit depressing and very dark, well, you can go and read Christie's book. Will they get a laugh? Will they get some emotion? What kind of emotions they will get?
I don't
Romance?
know. People say that they have a hard time putting it down, and then they say that it makes them laugh and cry.
Oh, that's good. So go on Amazon and you will find Christy Zagami's books. And now, of course, let's go somewhere else. We had sadly a couple of women that died. There was basically a mass stabbing in Las Vegas. There were these ladies on the strip that take photos, you know, like they do there. And they refused to take a photo with this weirdo, and he started stabbing them. And a couple of them died. 8 of them were injured. This happened a few hours ago in Las Vegas. So it is very sad what happened. Of course, these are still raw videos that come from the place, but basically the dynamic is now pretty clear. I mean, the guy was a weirdo. The ladies refused to take a picture with.
There's just so many strange people out there.
Sadly, 2 of the people who were stabbed ended up dead.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
It's very sad because we went to Las Vegas. We got married in Las Vegas. We've been in Las Vegas a few times, and there was a time in which, you know, remember we went there in the evening and we saw these girls who make pictures with Pierre, and they are just like, you know,
just trying to make a living.
They're just trying to make a living, and it's really sad that this happened. So
Do you think it was like at that? It wasn't at that part that we were at.
No, this was in front of the Wynn Casino, one of the main casinos in Las Vegas, and so it's something that, like I said, happened on the Las Vegas Strip only a few hours ago. We have here also an article on the Daily Mail that we can share. It says here basically that the guy is an Hispanic man in his 30s. The showgirls were attacked in a brutal mass stabbing on the Las Vegas Strip at 11:45 a.m. this morning. A total of 8 people were stabbed, with 2 dead and 3 in critical condition in nearby hospital. The suspect was arrested very quickly, fortunately, and it happened in front of the Wynn Casino. It's sad. It's sad, definitely, for Clark County, for Las Vegas, which is really close to here to Palm Springs. You have a long story, you know. Palm Springs is the place where the Rat Pack used to hang out together with Las Vegas, which was their main base. And so let me show an image of one of these ladies while she was carried away.
Oh no, I can't watch this.
No, but
It'll make me really sad.
It's of course what happens when you have to relay such news. It's not always great news, but these poor women were trying to make a living, and I'm really sad that there is people like this around, and that's why maybe these women should have weapons. Should have weapons.
Well, absolutely, they should.
They should have weapons. They should have had maybe at least a pepper spray of some kind, and it would have probably helped them a lot. We are close, of course, to opening the phone lines, but we are still discussing, of course, what is happening around the world. We've been discussing also Europe, but we have been also discussing the subject of gender and all this. You know that Vilma in Scooby-Doo now, she came out as lesbian.
Wilma?
Yes,
Wilma. Well, that was apparent. Everybody knew that Wilma was a lesbian.
But now I want to also discuss something else. In Great Britain, a woman was arrested on Monday night where she was cooking, I think, roast chicken for her children. The police arrived, and this is why we left Europe. We could have gone to England, but we already heard that it was getting like that, you remember? And so we decided not to, because I'm half English, so it would have been an option. But this is what happened to this woman who was basically arrested for having posted on tweet, she's a Catholic, against this transgender activist, and they got, in a classic confrontation, virtual confrontation, the police went and arrested this woman.
Why?
Because, if
but it's not in America.
No, it's in Great Britain, but Great Britain used to be, a beacon of freedom. They invented the Magna Carta. These people should know better, but unfortunately, it's becoming a nightmare, Great Britain. Check this out.
This is a very topical subject, obviously, because of what Suella Braverman was saying. Taking what they say at face value, you've been charged with sending a malicious tweet or an email, something like that. Is that the case?
No, I've been released under investigation, so I don't know yet whether or not I'm going to be charged.
Okay, so they come round. Do they have a warrant to enter your premises, these policemen?
It was so surreal. So it's a Monday night. I have 4 children. I'm making the family meal. I'm doing a roast chicken. And my husband says to me, "Oh, there's 2 policemen at the door, Caroline, and they won't speak to me." And we're quite used to having police at the door because we live in a presbytery and sometimes, you know, there are public order issues or whatever going on. And he said, they want to speak to you. So I go to the door and they said, right, we're here because we're investigating an allegation against you. And yeah, they said, we're here because we're investigating an allegation against you made by a certain person. And they said, can we come in? And I said, do you have a warrant? And straight away, this burly policeman put his hand onto my front door and said,
yeah, we saw that.
We don't need one. We don't need one. And just basically barged his way in. And they said, we are arresting you.
Are you, by the way, just let me ask you on that, because as I understand the law, it's a little different in Scotland, but in England, Wales and Northern Ireland, I understood it to be that unless there was a serious charge, they were required to get a serious crime, and they were going to arrest a criminal accused of a serious crime, they were required to have a warrant. Have you been informed that that's not the case?
Yeah, I'm not entirely clear, so I don't want to opine and give incorrect information. But I was basically, they have to have a reasonable reason to arrest you. There needs to be a good reason. And the reason that they claimed that they were arresting me was because they needed to seize my electronic devices, which is quite scary because, you know, I've been the victim of some really quite severe harassment. A few years ago, there was a website producing death threats, rape threats, threatening my children even. And the police said, oh, we never seize electronic equipment. It has to be terrorism. So, you know, there they are seizing my devices. And they said they had to arrest me in order to seize my devices. Well, OK, if they had to seize my devices, they know I have children. Why don't they issue a warrant, a search warrant, come round and get my devices in the day and invite me in for interview instead of depriving me of my liberty in such an unnecessary and undignified way and in front of my children? And in fact, I mean, it was crazy because it's what they were... Sorry.
Well, we know why they're... No, we know why they're doing it in front of your children, because they want to teach you a lesson. We should say that this... You're the wife of a priest, and you are not fully on board with the full transgenderist agenda, as most people in the United Kingdom are not on board with it. But so the police, who are basically ideological enforcers now, chose to stage this arrest in front of your children, precisely to teach them a lesson that mummies who do bad things are gonna be treated like. So they'll tell their friends, and their friends' mummies will say, "Oh, I'd best shut up about whatever it is I'm annoyed about."
You have to wonder if that's the case. And actually, in the case of my children, it was deeply irresponsible. So my two younger children have got learning difficulties. Well, they're both diagnosed autism. And they have been extremely traumatised, and I'm so angry about it. So I know my son today had to have some extra time with the teacher because he was really worried about what happens if mummy doesn't come home from prison. My other daughter was really distraught because one of the devices they took was an iPad that we use as her homework iPad. And one of the things that she's very obsessed by is Harry Potter. And she uses Harry Potter, the Audible books, they're lovely, actually, narrated by Stephen Fry. She uses them as a soothing thing. And the iPad has her entire Harry Potter collection on, and basically it's like the police have taken away her homework Harry Potter iPad, and she doesn't understand. And the reason that they took that was because they said, do you, Mrs. Farrow, have access to that device? And I said yes. So into the evidence bag it went. I mean...
well, and while we're on the subject of these computers, they also went... your husband is a priest. They went and demanded to go into the parish office and seize the computers there. Now, there's no... What you were then arrested and taken to Guildford Police Station, which we might be coming to, and we might do a mass demonstration out there, because this goes on every week up and down the realm, and it's getting worse and worse. And you've been accused of a white-collar crime, which is sending a malicious email or a malicious tweet, and yet they treat you like a common criminal, and they remove all your jewelry and other items. They make you take...
This is insane. I mean, Great Britain is gone, guys. Forget it. I mean, I'm half English, but this is really making me so angry, but also so happy that I'm on this side of the world now. Hopefully, we will be able to keep our freedom and not end up like these idiots in Europe, because today in Prague, all the New World Order, the European enclave, including Great Britain and the European Union, they all met up in this castle where basically they are continuing to indulge in giving money and weapons to Volodymyr Zelensky, even if that means an almost certain nuclear escalation, because it's true. Yeah, it's true that the Russians are suffering a lot on the ground, a lot of losses. But when you push, it's like, if I make an example here. No, it's like I have an AK-47 in my hands, and it's the guy with a knife who is harassing me. In the end, I'm just gonna, So I think that this is really the most.
So is Europe like this to Russia? And finally
Europe is not really even taking a position with Russia. We don't really know. In fact, Russia today, the main Russian, it's like the main publication, which, by the way, yesterday I dedicated another article because they exposed for the first time the Illuminati, Bilderberg, Skull and Bones, World Economic Forum. If you want to check this article, go on leozagami.com because it's a great article. But going back to what is happening in Europe and in the last few days, this escalation that is very, very dangerous, and that nobody's talking about peace. Here they talk about, here they talk about Vilma being lesbian, about, I don't know, Batman being gay or whatever.
Did they say Scooby-Doo is gay?
I don't know.
Nor is Shaggy.
I don't really care. And I hope at this point for a nuclear escalation that wipes off the face of the earth, because no, we are not people that can stand in front of God with such BS. I mean, it's like, okay, I might be an extremist at this point saying something like that.
No.
But Ukrainian Zelensky labeled Elon Musk a Russian supporter because simply he was trying to make a peace deal after Elon Musk had been giving for free the internet to these peasants from Ukraine for months, and I'm really shocked. I'm really shocked about this kind of situation, and I'm shocked, and I'm at the same time disappointed. The Kremlin, of course, is accusing at this point Zelensky of wanting a world war because he's not backing off. The Pope the other day on Sunday said, please, Putin, please, Zelensky, let's try to find a solution. Zelensky maybe needs to back down a little bit, And even the Pope suffered criticism at this point, even if the Pope is always a bit hypocritical in his stand because behind the scenes he's making deals with China and whatever. But Kremlin accuses Zelensky now of trying to start a world war. And I must say that they are, they're right. They're right. And the EU in all this, well, the EU doesn't know where it stands because part of the countries in the EU are basically insecure of waging a complete confrontation against Russia because they know the consequences. And now this article of RT, which we remember our audience is, we remind the audience, this is a state news source. So it's like the state. So EU must decide where it stands on Ukraine. Kremlin. The bloc issues too many contradictory statements, making it impossible to discern where it stands. So even Russia is confused. Where does the EU stand? The European Union must decide where it wants the Ukrainian conflict to be resolved diplomatically or in a violent manner. This is what has been said now in Europe. So you have to understand we're very close to either a nuclear disaster, because Zaporizhia, the biggest nuclear plant, has been now officially passing from Ukrainian ownership to Russian ownership, being part of the Russian annexed, the Ukrainian annexed territory to Russia. And this, what it means is that now the Ukrainians are shooting missiles at the Zaporizhia nuclear plant with the risk of a complete catastrophe.
What is their goal? I mean, don't they understand?
It's just wanting money, but also they want back their territory. And this is, okay, this is not Ukraine. This is part of Ukraine that in 2014 acted a coup against the part of Ukraine that was pro-Russian to get them out of power. And then from that point onwards, declared war on everything Russian, persecuting the Russian culture more and more, and killing in Donbass 14,000 people, including children. At that point, at the beginning of the year, of course, we know what happened at the end of February. Putin decided to intervene with this military operation.
So this was all going on, and then Putin said, I had enough. I had enough, and now he's, of course, with this referendum, he annexed these 4 territories, not only including Donbass, but also including Kherson, Zaporizhia, so he moved also this part, and then there is Crimea that was already annexed in 2014. So somebody's asking, did book 8 come out yet? No, Christy is working on it, but I think maybe 1 month, maybe 1 month, a month and a half, we should have Volume 8 of my Confessions that is coming out in both the Italian and the English language. So I bring you a good edition. That's awesome.
And it is a great book, so it deserves our attention, our work, constant work. So now, Christy, we promised our audience to open up the phone lines and to invite them to the show. We do this, and it's always part of the show that you seem to enjoy very much. So +1 970 577 5777 6369.
57. What is it?
I can't even the numbers.
Where is it anyway?
There. Let me make it bigger.
I can't see.
+1 970 577 6369. You want to read it?
970 577 6369.
We can sing it. 970 577 6369.
69. Oh no.
Okay, so this is the phone number.
We're dumb.
Well, every now and then, I mean, with all this news that we're giving, which is not really good news, let's be honest about it. This world is entering the end times, so we can maybe at times just relax with a laugh or two. It was, it's really harsh what's happening, and the people.
Maybe we can make you laugh a little, and then it raises up your vibration, and then you feel better.
Yeah.
Because this news really sucks.
The news is terrible.
It's always terrible, and it's like one bad thing after another. The only good thing that you said today was DeSantis talking and speaking was the only good thing I heard. And he's really a really great guy, isn't he? He really wants to help his Floridians.
Well, absolutely, and that's why a lot of people are saying he's definitely the next presidential candidate when Trump eventually steps down from.
I don't understand what's happening and who I'm going to vote for. I really don't understand.
Well, like I said, in my book, I am very favorable for a DeSantis presidency, but of course, if we have still Donald J. Trump around.
Oh, I mean, if Donald is there, I'm going to.
But, if you go to the local supermarket,
I'm going to vote for Donald.
If you go to the local supermarkets and you go, to the section where you have all those magazines like the Globe, the thing, there was one yesterday, Trump about to be arrested. All kind of like Trump in prison. I mean, these people are insane. like they really think
It's
that
their fantasy world.
it's their fantasy world of the supermarket where you buy this newspaper that it's this thin for $5. It's a ripoff. I'm not going to buy this stuff. When I first came to the United States, I wanted
them all the time.
I bought them because I wanted to see what it was all about. And because at times you need, as a journalist, to see what the kind of magazine, the gossip
You do not need to read that trash tabloid crap.
No, in fact, I don't need it. But
you realize that.
I realize
I didn't read not one story in any of your Inquirers.
Yeah. It was just...
You always pick the ones with Andrew on it, and I could care less about Andrew. And there's no movie star that I'm interested in.
And Prince Harry.
There's no more movie stars I'm interested in. There's no more actors I'm interested in. I think they all suck. Period.
They all suck. They pretty much all suck.
Even Gwen Stefani sucks.
Why? You like Gwen Stefani once?
I used to, until I saw her with Marina
Abramovich.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Eating some dead things. So I didn't want to forget it.
By the way, your passion with Gwen Stefani was born also out of the fact that you were working in Japan as a model, as an actress in Japan. And she had this track about the Suzuki, how you call the girls there?
Yeah, it was just, she made this whole album. And I had just came back from my modeling stint in Japan. And so I had come to America and I was really missing Japan. And then all of a sudden, Gwen Stefani, who I have followed in the 90s and everything, she came out with this album called Harajuku Girls. And so it was just really something else, and I loved it. And
now in Japan, they have missiles flying over their heads, and North Korea seems to be really scary, very scary. Now North Korea flies even warplanes near South Korea after missile launches. The other day there was that missile launch that was unprecedented, that passed over Japan, and they had those alarms going on.
Aren't you going to take callers?
I'm taking callers, Casey. Nobody's calling.
What?
Yes, nobody's calling. +1 970 but nobody's calling. It can happen.
Well, you never answer to the Zodiac killer's grandson, Gary.
Well, I never wanted to. It's totally out of topic, and I repeated to him, we are out of topic. Okay, guys, let's go back into the news, because China is back with some COVID madness. So, just they love.
Oh, I don't want to even hear about that.
Okay, somebody's calling. Welcome to the Leo Zagami show. Who are you and where are you calling from?
This is Kevin from Los Angeles.
We
you don't have to say anything.
No worry, Kevin. The people need to know that we pay you every week to call in.
No, you don't. You do not pay Kevin. Don't say you pay Kevin, because then you're gonna have to pay him.
Okay, no, but I thought he was doing it for free. But okay.
Oh, boy.
So, Kevin, what do you think about the topic of today? I mean, 290 million in drugs that are used in case of a nuclear disaster.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's such a waste of money. I mean, for one thing, I'm not going to take it. I don't trust him, as far as I can throw him. I was going to take the vaccine, so he's not going to take any drugs.
Let's not talk about that, because you know what kind of platform we are on. He didn't say anything. In any case, Kevin, I suggest we all purchase some potassium. We have a bunch of it, potassium. How it is?
But don't you need so much potassium iodine? And we only have 2 bottles, so.
No, we only have 2. That's a lot. I mean,
I know, but
in any case, I trust a lot more that than any solution given by the state. Not because I don't really trust the state, no. So, welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi guys, it's Dr. Purdy from Connecticut.
Okay.
Who is it?
Who is it?
Did you get a phone call yet?
Okay, so you are calling from Connecticut, and of course,
Connecticut. It's the armpit of America.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
Connecticut.
I'm in Connecticut.
Do you think that we are being a little bit too alarmist? Is this some kind of strategy of tension? What do you think of this investment of 290 million on drugs that supposedly will save us from some kind of nuclear disaster?
Yeah, it just keeps getting worse. At this point, I don't know what to think. And I agree with Christy. We should just enjoy ourselves because what else can we do? It's just unbelievable. I think this was all planned ahead of time, years and years and years ago, and it's playing out now.
Yeah.
I don't think elections matter. I think they're all bought and paid for. They're all playing a part. DeSantis sounds good. Trump, I gave up on him a long time ago. He says one thing and does another. And I'm focusing on just being happy. But I really like facts. I really want to know what's going on, but I'm not getting emotional over it.
That's good.
I'm drinking wine right now, Leo, Christy. Drinking wine.
Okay, so you are one of those people who think, yeah, maybe it's good to just continue enjoying life until we can. But in any case, do you think that being ready, having your own generators, your own food supplies, your own...
Yes, I'm doing,
I think she's talking about her mental.
I'm covering my bases. I just put in a whole house generator and a propane tank because I don't trust the government. You know, flip the switch and you don't get electricity. And they say stock up, you know, with food. And for my little dogs and my cat, I've got their pet food. No, I'm ready. I'm ready for that. But Christy's right. I mean, be happy, you know, just get those endorphins going in your system and pump up your immune system because I don't know any way out of this. And voting, I don't think voting is going to do any good at all. I think they're all bought and paid for.
Well, that definitely... It's a moment in which the political scene it's very contrary to our beliefs, because every time these people go to Washington, they seem to just jump on board whatever goes, and with of course the usual agenda of the New World Order and their lackeys, and it's like you can send whoever you want to Washington, but Washington really corrupts you. This swamp has not been drained, but I still believe that Trump can do some good if he ever went back in office. The problem is that I don't think they will ever let him go back in office, and they will make everything possible and imaginable to stop him. But my choice will also, of course, be on DeSantis, which I see as a man, a former military, a man of ethics and morals, who seems to really want to help his own people. And maybe he could help the whole of the United States one day. Why not?
Well, that would be nice. That would be nice. But I'm going to tell you, for me, and I've been following this for an awfully long time. In the 1960s, when I was in high school, my father told me, because I got all engrossed in the news and the Vietnam War, he says, Donna, he says, what you see on the news is not the truth.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your words and what you have said today, together also with our other friend Kevin. I mean, unfortunately, we have a switchboard here that works a little bit kind of like I go from one phone call to the other, but at times I don't really know how.
Did you just hang up on Dana?
No. It's just that I'm trying to get other people to, yes, another caller, and I'm trying to. Thank you so much, though, for calling and for actually telling us that, yes, it's important to be prepared, but at the same time, it's important to continue living life. It's living life.
And keep people around you that, I mean, it's very important that the people that you have close to you, they're people that are positive, people that lift you up.
Yes.
You don't want like a negative kind of a person close to you because, you know, then they just pick, and it brings down your vibration. It is a vibration. That might sound new agey, but it is a vibration that you have.
I have
within
also
you.
explained that you have to abandon the cities, for example. And actually today I was checking out on my colleague Paul Joseph Watson's website, and he was saying exactly what I said in my book that was published several months ago. Abandoning the big cities seems to not be an option, but a requirement if you want to survive the Great Reset and what is going to happen. You see, get out of the big cities. Get out of the
You've
big
been
cities.
saying that for years.
I've been saying that for a long time, but finally seems like people are getting it. It's the only possibility to have maybe a chance. Because, okay, we can live positive, but we need to be ready. We need to be ready. And one thing, like a new company has just started selling nuclear bunkers in Switzerland. But these nuclear bunkers, of course, are all nice and fancy and all, only for millionaires. But guys, it doesn't cost that much to lay 6 meters of cement and protect yourself and your family by constructing a nuclear bunker. During the Cold War, Christy, in the 50s and 60s, here in America, most families had nuclear bunkers. You know that?
I don't know. I wasn't born.
Well, and in countries, there were countries that were filled with nuclear bunkers, especially in Eastern Europe, that they might turn handy these days. So I don't understand why there is not more companies that are making more affordable nuclear bunkers that can be exceeded by wider amount.
Like somebody that could.
The problem is that they want only the elite to survive. They want only the elite to survive. We discussed this in the past. I even wrote an article about how the elite is planning to survive here, there, and everywhere. They have all kinds of plans, but
good luck to them, because the soul goes on and their soul is not with God. So who cares? Let them have their material.
We still have a few minutes if you want to call in. +1 970 577 6369. Kevin, if you want to call back, you can call back. Otherwise, we can take another call from whomever wants to call in. We still have a few minutes. But like I said, it's important to be ready, because there is going to be definitely part of this population of mankind. We are reaching in the middle of November 8 billion people that will be probably eliminated, because the plan of the Illuminati is to eliminate. We have reached in the middle of November this year, so in a little more than 1 month, the fatidical number of 8 billion individuals. Welcome to the Leo Zagami show. It's you.
Hi, this is Kevin from Los Angeles.
That's it, because we pay him and he always.
We don't pay him.
Well, that's it.
Don't say that. Now you're gonna have to send him a book.
No, we don't pay. We don't pay.
Don't say that.
We pay. We pay.
Now you're gonna have to send Kevin a book.
No, we pay him with the Zagami currency, which is going to be valid in the next.
You're so full of shit.
Yeah, well,
He's going to send you a book. Just because you said that.
No. Okay.
I got cut off because I said the B word.
The B word. Don't say the B word. Because the B word will make you lose all the cash that you have accumulated there, and the possibility of receiving a book. Because the B word that will bring us back to, we have been blocked, only for broadcasting a show that we had broadcast already a few months ago, simply about the persecution of Christians in the end times, and that was enough for having the channel blocked. I mean, it's crazy. So, Kevin, what do you think? How are you going to get ready? Because you are in the middle of Los Angeles. Los Angeles is the last place on earth where you want to be.
He lives right by the airport.
And you live right by the airport. So what is your plan?
He's just going to...
My plan is to
pray.
See, that's all you have to do. That's it.
Praying to God that nothing happens. And so far,
and I bet he'll be fine.
Nothing has happened, so that's a good thing.
Okay, so you have the God and the prayer, and hopefully you have the blessing, and hopefully we will be able to preserve what is left of America. Now, 8 billion people. In November, 8 billion people. The Illuminati, the New World Order, want to eliminate 3/4. It's going to be done through famine, through nuclear weapons. What's going to happen with the United States of America in the next few years?
Well, I hate to say it, but next year I think we're going to start seeing famine with all the burning of all the food processing plants. There were over 100 food processing plants that were burnt down. You know, I really don't know what's going to happen. I'm really not looking forward to it.
And we have, unfortunately, also the fertilizers which are lacking because they come from Russia.
Yeah.
I mean, the fertilizers are a major reason, and that's why the UN, one of the people in charge for the UN food program, has said it's going to be a disaster of apocalyptic proportions, and it's going to push me. Basically, we have a whole continent with 1.4 billion people, Africa, that literally in a few months could be invading Europe, a Europe that of course is already weakened by what we are seeing. I don't know if they're going to be invading Europe, if Europe becomes a nuclear wasteland. I hope it doesn't. But definitely there is going to be these massive migrations. Even John Kerry said hundreds of millions of people will move, 100 million people will move. I mean, I don't think we realize that we are in front of something that has never been seen in the history of mankind, and that it might change forever the history of mankind in the next few years.
I mean, look at Europe. I mean, they're facing a winter that they're never going to forget.
The cold winter. Europe. Absolutely. I want to show
oil being cut off from them.
And
unbelievable. You got to pray for these people of Europe.
Absolutely. We should pray for these people of Europe, but we should also share, and I want to share it with you as you are with us now, von der Leyen, who is in charge of the EU, who talks about this crisis and says that it's pretty bad. Let's see what she says.
Are at a critical juncture once more. The energy crisis is serious. I'm deeply convinced we can handle it, we can manage it, but it is serious. And it requires from Europe a common response.
Now they say a common response, but then Germany, she's German, is doing their own price cap, investing 200 billion, so they can maintain the prices under control in Germany. But the rest of Europe, well, they're going to have to just arrange themselves. I think that there's a lot of hypocrisy now also, Kevin.
Yeah.
A lot of hypocrisy and a lot of hypocrisy from these leaders and bureaucrats and people that, of course, are still believing that the European Union has some kind of structure that is
Sorry, Rambo's back there.
Rambo is back. Rambo is back, and he's back because he's a pure Zagamiani. You know, Zagamiani is the followers of Zagami in Italy. I mean, it's like he's number one. He's the number one Zagamiani. Yes. So here today in a castle in Prague, they've been deciding the future of Europe, and already the fact that this, you know, they like to be called democracies, but then they all gather in a castle in Prague. We used to be the capital of the alchemist, and it's definitely not the place where you will imagine something democratic coming out of it. In fact, this elite is anti-democratic. They decide, they had this joke elections in Italy, but now, of course, it's going to be still the bureaucrats, the technocrats, and the unelected Italian president is going to decide for Giorgia Meloni, the new elected prime minister, or soon to be nominated prime minister. She has admitted today that she might use some technical ministers. What does it mean, technical ministers? It means that the ministers that are in charge, for example, of the transition of energy, like this Cingolani guy, will probably stay in their place because these unelected people are still in charge, and there is no kind of election that can save the situation, or no kind of political current. I mean, I know that when you talk about Europe, you know, people think maybe Hungary, it's kind of what's happening here? What's happening with
He's just talking so much.
Well, it's very important to talk now because we are facing probably nuclear extinction if they continue. I think that the problem here is nobody wants to talk about peace. And I think that, I mean, I've been always very critical, as you know, of Elon Musk. You know, you also. We are never, I mean, Elon Musk is a guy, is a very ambiguous, very ambiguity, you know, full of ambiguity. On one, you know, on one side he says things and then he does others and all kinds of.
Right.
But having said that, his peace proposal wasn't actually that bad, and and even Henry Kissinger peace proposal along the same lines wasn't that bad. The problem is nobody wants to talk about peace.
Why not?
No, today, Lindsey Graham of the Republican Party, you know who is Lindsey Graham, no?
Yeah.
We all know who he is. He attacked fiercely Elon Musk, saying he doesn't have to get involved and there is no peace with Russia.
But why?
These are warmongers. These are war pigs. Like, you know, I mean... I know, like a Black Sabbath sing in the early 70s. I don't like heavy metal. I think that most of it is satanic, Black Sabbath included. But there was one song, War Pigs, that actually said it very clearly, who is in charge when it comes down to war. No, the military, the War Pigs, the War Pigs. So they are definitely, and Lindsey Graham, I mean, terrible. Another thing that I would like to analyze before, of course, we salute our audience today, and I think it's an important thing that needs to be broadcast, at least before we end this show. Let's see if I can find it. Is what happened yesterday at the Tucker Carlson show with Tony Bobulinski, who went back after 1 year. Tony Bobulinski said that the FBI guy called Tim Tebow was assigned to the Hunter Biden case, but he dropped it. He didn't care about it. Corruption.
Government officials are not allowed to sell access to the United States government. Even sitting vice presidents like Joe Biden are not allowed to do that. It's a crime. It is also a crime for anyone in the United States to commit fraud, to defraud their business partners. Now, in the portion of an interview that you just saw, Tony Bobulinski presented evidence, which we examined, that Hunter Biden did this. He committed fraud against Tony Bobulinski and his other business partners. The Biden family did that. Now, Bobulinski gave that evidence to the FBI. What happened next? We asked Tony Bobulinski. Now, since you are at the very center of the story, since you were the CEO of Sinahawk Holdings...
I wish I wasn't.
Right. Oh, I know that's right. And I want to ask you about that in a minute, because it's a sad story. But since you are, as a factual matter, at the very center of this story, tell us about your personal interactions with the FBI.
So, well documented. I went to the second debate in Nashville between President Trump and Joe Biden.
So, of course, the rest of the interview you can find online. But, I mean, it seems pretty clear here. We have also a problem with the FBI, and this problem needs to be sorted out because they're behaving increasingly like some kind of Stasi secret police working for the interest of the Democratic Party, not the American people. Kevin, this is really something that needs to change. But thank you for calling in today.
Oh, you're welcome. I love your book, Christy.
Thank you.
and of course, we will make sure that you will continue to receive our handouts. Joking. We are joking with Kevin. We might send you this book too soon, though. Maybe we will wait for volume 8.
He has that book.
Well,
he bought it. He bought that
then
book.
maybe we should send.
He bought that book.
Okay, then maybe we should send him volume 8 then when it comes out. So maybe we can No, because at least, he's always there, ready for the call, the emergency call. But you need to change also and make a different character so we can,
He's giving you a job.
You can create different characters, Kevin. You
have to pretend to be different people. So we think there's different people calling.
Yeah.
These suck.
Take care, Kevin. All the best, and thank you guys for tuning in for our show, for our Leo Zagami show. Chris, you enjoyed the show today?
I did.
Okay.
Sort of. I don't like the bad news, but
You don't like the bad news.
No,
what is
but
Rambo
always...
saying about the bad news? Huh? He wants to go out.
We're gonna go for a walk.
He wants to drop a nuclear turd.
It's so rude. You have ladies watching. Don't be so nasty. Nasty. Bye, everyone.
The Leo Zagami show is back on Saturday at 10 a.m. Don't miss it. And please share this video and subscribe to all our channels so you can continue to follow us even when they block the main channel for the show, like they did a few days ago. He's
launching himself.
He's launching himself?
Yeah. He's ready to go flying.
Oh, no.
What? He's launching himself.
Okay. From Palm Springs, California, the Leo Zagami show. Bye-bye. That's all and a little bit more.